Salutations, my name is Gorby, and I'm about to make one of the safest and least controversial statements that has ever already been said by countless other people on the internet. Get ready, here it comes. The Dreamcast was an underrated console. I know, what a patently room temperature thing to say, but it had to be said again. This little white box, or yellow if you're particularly unlucky, punched far above its weight with the sheer number of classic games it had, especially given the console's limited library and indeed limited lifespan, lasting just 2.5 years in Japan and just 1.5 years in the West, considerably shorter than even the Wii U, which managed to limp along for 4.5 years. The failure of the Dreamcast was not at all a reflection of the quality of the system or its games, but rather a decision by Sega, by that time on the brink of financial collapse, to pull out of the hardware market and try to live on as a platform-agnostic publisher. My own interest in this particular bookend of Sega's time as a platform holder was not born of any first-hand experience of the console during its brief heyday, but rather a sense of anemoia, a fascination that quickly developed out of control when I learned about this marvellous console some 6 years ago. It was the first to adopt many of the features that are utterly pedestrian these days, like built-in network connectivity, online voice chat, downloadable content. Shit. Alright, so these features may not have since been harnessed in the positive manner Sega was presumably hoping for back in the late 90s, but at the time these were huge advances in online gaming, at least as far as consoles were concerned. Admittedly, these were early days for all the aforementioned features. The implementation was generally rough and inconsistent, but it was undeniably a bold step forward, elevating the Dreamcast far above its 5th generation predecessors. Though it would not live to see its biggest innovations truly bear fruit, there was one game that, I would argue, made an impact on online gaming still felt to this day. That game was Phantasy Star Online. Now, Phantasy Star was originally a JRPG series positioned largely as the flagship for that genre on both the Master System and the Mega Drive, and frankly PSO has little in common with its forebears beyond sharing the name and a few nods here and there. The name was simply used as a vehicle for Sega to create an experimental new game. After the Japanese release of Sonic Adventure in late 1998, Sonic Team began to experiment with online multiplayer, leading them to create Choo Choo Rocket, which was released in November of the following year. This was the first Dreamcast title to support online play, and this helped Sonic Team to understand the capabilities and limitations of the platform when it came to networked games. This experience, along with some inspiration from Western online games, led Sonic Team to create Phantasy Star Online, which quite tragically released in December 2000, just weeks before the discontinuation of the Dreamcast was announced. Despite this, sales met Sega's expectations and the game received critical acclaim, which meant the series didn't go down with the good ship Dreamcast. With that background out of the way, there is something I must admit. I'm going to be playing this on an emulator today. I do have a physical copy of the game, well, I did at some point. Maybe this is it? No, just Power Stone. Actually, now that I think about it, I think I just burned a pirated copy of it to a CD and played that in the past. But I was young and stupid back then, and I'm certainly not advocating piracy. But it is exceedingly easy on the Dreamcast. In any case, for reasons that needn't detain us, I no longer own the original hardware, and you could argue that PSO is pretty much abandonware at this point, at least the original Dreamcast versions. Sure, the series continues to this day, with PSO2 being free to play on modern systems, but that's a very different game, and in my opinion, merely makes it more unlikely that the original will receive any sort of modern re-release. I would absolutely love that, but the chances are pretty much zero. Perhaps surprisingly, there are still private servers that exist for the original Dreamcast version of Phantasy Star Online, and that's what I'll be showing a little bit of. You can access these servers through the original hardware or through emulation, and I'll leave a link in the description with a tutorial that I used myself to get online using the Flycast emulator via RetroArch. I don't know, I can't explain the way this game makes me feel. It makes me feel like slightly sad, knowing that there's this early era of online gaming that I missed, and you can't really go back to it now because there's a lot of it, it's just frustrating. It's like, well, for a start, the Dreamcast only had one analog stick, so I'm playing this on a DualSense, but yeah, the right analog stick doesn't do anything because the Dreamcast didn't have one. So camera control is, what is it? It's There might be some other trick to it, but basically you look the way you want to face and you hit the left trigger, and that's it. It's actually not that bad once you kind of get that muscle memory for it, but it's just very different. It's one of the things that definitely constrained the Dreamcast unnecessarily, I'd say. Anyway, let's get started. Let's can move this little thing down, long stick. It's kind of cute. This isn't a review, I should point out. I'm not going to, I haven't played the game through ever. I've never got, massively high level, even when playing on the original hardware. When I played on my Dreamcast, back when I had one, I did not play online because it had a modem, and there are ways to get actual original hardware Dreamcasts online, even with the modem, but it's kind of difficult. But this is probably the most accessible way of playing the original Dreamcast versions and playing them online. And actually, in fact, if this looked particularly nice, you're probably right. Oh shit, I shouldn't do that actually. But I think I've upped the resolution a bit on this. I can't remember. I can't check, otherwise it'll disconnect me. But it looks, I don't know, just the art style is just incredible. I'm still pretty low level. I was playing with a friend actually, because this game is kind of rough if you're on your own. It's not unplayable at all. You just have to grind quite a bit. Even the loading screens, just it's aesthetic, But it's beyond saying it. It's just nice. But I mean, come on, look at this. It's so nice looking. Like, yeah, the textures are pretty low quality, and actually you can play I believe you can play the GameCube version, which looks nicer. You can play that online in a similar fashion with Dolphin, but it feels a bit more authentic, even though it's not the original hardware, but, yeah. It's another thing I love about this game that was way ahead of its time, the dynamic, battle music. Healing Worms. Or rather, I'm full up on Healing Worms. But the battle music, it goes seamlessly back into that beautiful, serene, I don't know. I just very much love this game. Oh. Someone is joining my party. Okay, this is interesting. Oh no, will I meet this guy? Oh! There he is. Oh my god, we actually get a little bit of social interaction. Is he just going to go back? He's waiting for me. How kind. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to fucking destroy the boss in this area with his help. He's still level 30. That's a cool little effect. I love to see it. Shit like that. Okay, let's a go. Oh my god, look, he's all geared up and everything. I'm actually gonna see how long it takes him. Fucking hell, okay. Ooh, another lag. Fuck me. Ooh, none! Oh my god, I'm just gonna let him do all the work. This is awesome. Like a 50 damage. Oh. That's so cool. What the hell? What? Is he buffing me? Well, I don't feel anything. feel so embarrassed. I don't know anything about this game compared to him. Anyway, no. Here we go. Thank you, Ramstein. Together, my brother. Poor Doobie. Maybe he wants to wait. Oh no, he's just buffing. Cool. Okay, I guess we're ready to kill the dragon. And here we go. Fight the first boss. I really thought this would take two times. First time I fucked up, and the second time me and my friend managed it. But yeah, nasty, kind of monster hunter. You can kind of target individual body parts. It's just like whatever you're placing at. Again, a bit clunky, but it works. Oh fuck! Oh shit! I actually didn't do too much damage. Oh. Nice. Killed that motherfucker. In the end, I sadly couldn't get the keyboard working within the game, but the adapter itself works absolutely fine from what I can tell, so it's not a waste of money at least. Perhaps I'll get it working for a future video. Anyway, thank you for watching, and join me next time when I expose the crimes that Telltale committed against my beloved Wallace and Gromit.